Alright, 5-6, inverse trig functions. We're going to split this up into two sections, I believe. In the first one, we're just going to talk about what inverse trig functions basically are. I am not going to spend time graphing these. You can see these from your notes if you want to look at them on Power School. I will start on the second page, though, mainly because and it's really not too important, but it is, I mean, not terribly hard, so I might as well do it just in case it appears on our, BC test or whatever. It could. So if I want to find out the arc sine of -1/2, basically I'm saying that y is equal to arc sine of -1/2, which now if I take the sine of both sides, okay, the sine of arc sine is going to cancel, and that leaves me just -1/2. So if I take the sine of this, the sine and that are going to cancel, okay, and that leaves me just the expression. And so what angle on your unit circle will give you -1/2? A couple of them. One is going to be -π/6, okay? Or if you want to think about what this actually is, that's 11π/6, okay? And that's in the fourth quadrant, but also the second quadrant would work as well, and I would be like 7π/6. So there's multiple different answers to these, so these are the two good ones. Arc cosine of 0, so this is basically when the sine of y is equal to 0. Not sine, why did I say sine? It's cosine of 0. Cosine of y is equal to 0, so what angle gives you 0? And this could be π/2, or it could be 3/2 pi. It all depends on what they're working with. If they're working between 0 and pi, then you're going to go here. If they're working between 0 and 2 pi, then both of these are your answers, okay? Arc tangent of of a √3, so this would be the tangent of y is equal to √3, and √3 is, if we think about this, this is when the this is π/3. Okay, y is equal to π/3, because if I take the sine of π/3 divided by the cosine of π/3, sine of π/3 is going to be √3/2, and the cosine is 1/2. And so when I divide, the halves cancel, and I'm left with just √3. Okay? Alright. Should hopefully be a quick video. Number 4, this one here is going to look a little different. But if I take the tangent of both sides, I get the tangent of arctangent, right? So that's just going to be the expression left inside is equal to the tangent of π/4. And so 2x minus 3, tangent of π/4 I believe is 1, right? Because √2/2 divided by √2/2 is 1. And then 2x equals 4, x equals 2 should be your answer there. Use a calculator to evaluate arc secant or arc cosecant. So I can't really take like arc cosecant in your calculator. I guess you could maybe try to do 1/arc sine, but I don't know if that would work. You can maybe try that, I'm not sure, but let's try this here. So if I take the cosecant of both sides, so I get the cosecant of y is equal to 2.590, and then therefore cosecant is 1 over the sine of y is equal to 2.590, and therefore the sine of y is equal to 1 over 2.590. And if I take the arc sine of this, so if I take the arc sine of 1 over 2.590, I'm going to get about 0.396. Okay, so that's what I'm going to get there. Okay, in this one, let's see what we get here. So using right triangles, take the arc sine of this, cosine of the arc sine of x. So if I say y is equal to the arc sine of x, then sine of y is equal to x. Okay. If I make my triangle, I know this is going to be x. This is my angle y. This is always going to be 1. Okay, that's the unit circle. The radius is always 1. And then this here, this distance is going to be the square root of 1 minus x squared. Okay. Just like your Pythagorean theorem, that's basically what it is. Okay. And so therefore, the cosine of y is equal to the square root of 1 minus x squared over 1 because of the hypotenuse, right? But it's fine there. So therefore, the cosine of the arc sine of x is equal to, so arc sine of x is equal to what? Arc sine of x we said is equal to y. So the cosine of y we said is equal to this. So square root of 1 minus x squared. Don't expect you to know really how to do that. It's not a big deal, but it comes in handy, you know, when you're on the street corner and some guy's asking you to borrow money and he gives you a question to solve. I don't know, just thinking about something. So if I say y is equal to the arc secant of root 5 over 2, and then therefore secant of y is equal to root 5 over 2, okay? And now if I have my triangle, I get root 5 is the hypotenuse, y is my angle, this is 2, this is 1, there's my right angle. And so then the tangent of y is equal to 1 over 2, okay, sine over cosine. And then the tangent of the arc secant of root 5 over 2 is equal to a half, okay, equal to a half. So hopefully you see what I'm doing there. So the secant of y, right, is 1 over cosine, and the cosine is opposite or adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent over hypotenuse, but in this case it's hypotenuse over adjacent, right? So hypotenuse is root 2, adjacent is 2. If I do the math and solve Pythagorean theorem, I get 1. And now I find the tangent of y is 1/2, and therefore that's basically what I get. So I do the inside first and then outside. So inside to outside. All right, that's it for this one. Hopefully it's not bad. Deuces, see you next one.